So today we're going to be looking at topic and theme in poetry, and the poem we will be using is The Mending Wall. So topic is going to be the general subject of the poem. It's a complete sentence that answers the basic questions: who, what, when, where, how, and why. Theme is the life lesson that can be learned from the poem, the overall message, the observation about life that the author makes. Remember that themes are universal ideas and that they can be bigger than the poem itself. They are statements or ideas that can be applied to many different situations and remain true. So before we begin, we need to build our background knowledge to help us better understand this particular poem. Today we're going to practice identifying the topic and theme of a poem. So fences, pretty basic, right? What is a fence? Well, what is the purpose of a fence? We are going to take some examples and look at a few different purposes that fences might be used for. So, just kind of make yourself a numerical list. Number one, this is image number one. What might the purpose of this particular fence be? Could be things like marking of a property. Number two, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number three, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number four, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number five, well, this isn't really a fence, it is a barrier, so keep that in mind, but what might the purpose of this fence or barrier be? What might the purpose of this fence be? Number six. Number seven, what might the purpose of this fence be for? Number eight, with this little piggy snout, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number nine, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number 10, what might the purpose of this fence be? 11, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number 12, what might the purpose of this fence be? Number 13, what might the purpose of this barbed wire fence be? Number 14, what might the purpose of this fence be? And number 15, what might the purpose of this fence be? So keep your lists of the purposes of fences handy, whether that's on paper or in your mind while you're reading and discussing the poem The Mending Wall by Robert Frost. So The Mending Wall by Robert Frost. If you own a rock wall, each spring you need to walk along the wall and replace the stones that the winter ice or rabbit hunters have knocked to the ground. As the speaker of the poem begins the arduous task with his neighbor, he begins to ask why the wall is necessary in the first place. These type of stone walls are found in many places, including England, Ireland, New England, where there are many large stones around. Here's another example. So no mortar or cement of any kind or bonding agent is used on these type of walls. They just simply stack the stones one on top of another. And then each year, repairs are required to be made to help replace the stones that have fallen off or out of the wall. So in class, we will be reading the poem The Mending Wall by Robert Frost and analyzing the rhyme scheme and what the author might be trying to say about walls and neighbors and human nature in general.